Have you ever felt like every minute is slipping through your fingers, no matter how hard you try to hold on? Have you ever looked at a clock and felt your chest tighten, as if time itself was your enemy? Do you ever wonder why the harder you chase peace, the further it seems to run from you? If you have ever felt owned by your own schedule, this story is for you. This is for anyone who has mistaken busyness for meaning and speed for progress. Stay with this story because by the end, you may see time in a way you never have before. In a small town wrapped in fog and river mist, there lived a clockmaker named Elias Bran. His shop sat on a narrow corner street, its window filled with clocks of every size, all ticking in perfect unison. People said Elias could fix any clock in the world. What they did not know was that Elias could not fix the one thing that mattered most: his own restless mind. Elias had built his life around precision. Every gear had to turn exactly right. Every second hand had to move without hesitation. He believed that if he could control time, he could control the chaos inside himself. But at night, when the shop grew quiet, his thoughts would not stop spinning. He would lie awake replaying old mistakes, worrying about tomorrow, and counting the hours he had wasted just lying there, awake. His fear was simple yet suffocating. He was terrified of falling behind. Behind in work, behind in life, behind in becoming the man his father once told him he should be. So Elias worked faster. He took more orders than he could finish. He skipped meals. He skipped rest. He told himself that once he caught up, he would finally feel calm. But something unexpected happened. One autumn evening, a young girl walked into his shop carrying a small, dented pocket watch. Its glass was cracked, and its hands were frozen at 3:30. "Can you fix it?" she asked. "It was my grandfather's. He always said it stopped the day he finally learned how to rest." Elias took the watch and turned it over in his hands. Something about that sentence unsettled him. He had spent his whole life trying to keep time moving faster, yet this watch had stopped, and somehow it still meant something. He promised the girl he would repair it by the following week. That night, as he pried open the tiny watch, he noticed the gears inside were worn down, some scratched from being wound too tightly, too often. Isn't it strange, he thought, how something can break not from being used too little, but from being pushed too hard? He set the watch down and, for the first time in years, simply sat in silence. His hands, which never stopped moving, sat still on the workbench. Days passed, and Elias's restlessness only grew worse. He began making mistakes he never made before, mismatching gears, misreading measurements. Customers noticed his hollow eyes and trembling hands. "Are you all right?" one asked. Elias forced a smile and said he was simply tired, though tired did not begin to describe the exhaustion inside him. One evening, everything came crashing down. Elias sat alone in his shop, surrounded by dozens of ticking clocks, yet he had never felt more lost. The sound that once brought him comfort now felt like an army of tiny hammers pounding against his skull. He gripped the edge of his workbench and whispered to the empty room, "I don't know how to stop." He thought about giving up the shop entirely, about running somewhere far from every clock and every deadline. What was the point of mastering time if it only mastered him instead? Just then, his eyes fell on the little pocket watch, still resting where he had left it. He picked it up again, and this time, instead of trying to fix it quickly, he studied it slowly. He noticed the inscription on the inside of the case, worn but still visible. "Time does not need to be won. It only needs to be honored." Elias sat with those words for a long moment. He thought about his father, who had taught him the trade but never once taught him how to rest. He thought about all the nights he had sacrificed sleep to save minutes he never actually used for anything meaningful. Slowly, Elias began to change, not all at once, but in small, deliberate steps. He started closing his shop 1 hour earlier each evening. He took walks by the river, watching the water move without hurry, yet always arriving exactly where it needed to go. He began repairing the pocket watch with patience instead of urgency, adjusting each gear with care rather than speed. When the girl returned the following week, Elias handed her the watch, now ticking softly and steadily. "It's not perfect," he said, "but it moves the way it's supposed to now, gently." She smiled and thanked him, unaware of how much that small repair had also repaired something inside the clockmaker himself. From that day forward, Elias still built and fixed clocks, but he no longer let them control him. He learned to work with steady hands instead of frantic ones. He learned that peace was not something to chase, but something to allow. Maybe you have been living like the old Elias, always rushing, always behind, always afraid that resting means losing. But here is the truth this story wants you to remember. Time was never meant to be conquered. It was meant to be lived, one honest, unhurried moment at a time. As Elias once whispered while winding an old clock at closing time, sometimes the truest peace begins the moment you stop racing the clock and start living inside it. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who feels like they are always running out of time. And subscribe for more stories that remind us how to slow down and truly live.